Hello, ladies. I'm so sorry about that. I tried to do the screen and screen, where I was going to be able to have my picture up there. I did my makeup and hair, and so I'm so sorry. But I'm here now, and we'll continue on with what we were doing. I appreciate your patience with me. Jelly plate, paints, inks, papers. We're going to have some fun. I started to mess around with this a little bit while I was waiting for the time to get closer to actually coming on. And so I did a little bit of blue and yellow because I'm still trying to get just the right match for this paper pack, which I still have not done yet. This color is still not, it's just not, I just don't have that true navy blue. And so I thought I'd work with my oxides, but I don't know that there you go. You can hear me now. I was just trying to do, Keisha, the picture in picture. I'm going to have to get in there and practice again. It's been a long time since I've done that, but I was just playing around with yellow and blue. I think this is a line thing I'm going to show you guys in a little bit, but this one I almost feel like could go into this kit a little bit. If I could get the right color, I think those patterns and the grid on that paper would look good. Keisha, hi, sweetie. It's so fun to have you here at my live. I appreciate you. Thank you. Um, I'm going to just start throwing some stuff on here. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're not sure what's going on or why I did something and I don't say why, then definitely ask me, talk to me about it. I love to answer questions. Oh, I'm so excited. You know what? I was doing fine. And then just as soon as I was going on, I started to get a little tickled. So I'm just trying to drink some water, need a cough drop. Hello, Minkas. Nice to meet you. Hi, Deb. I was hanging out at Deb's live earlier, and we agreed to meet up here, and so you need to go over and check out Deb's channel too. She's got so many different things going on over there. And Deb, do you know what I remembered? I remembered I had this. So I thought, because you inspired me with your Mr. thingy when you were doing your stuff today. Hi, Nance. You're here. Yay. I thought I'll work with oxides and I'll use my little plant mister. Right. So it's not as good probably as, in fact, it's an older one. It is metal. And so I'm looking into maybe buying a couple new, but isn't it cute? It's just adorable. My mom gave it to me because I love perfume bottles. But so what I thought is we would just work with some oxides and see if I could get more of that darker blue, but I'm really not thinking it's going to work. See, it's really light and more of a true blue, but we'll still come up with some cool stuff. So you know what? It'll be fine. I'm definitely inspired by blue this month because of my collab that I'm working with, and I am excited to come up with new stuff. Now, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. Here's a sneak peek, and thank you for showing up today. Next month, on the 12th, when I do the hashtag Joy of Blue, I'm going to be talking about this. I did this last night, and I also did these for a friend of mine. And so I'm trying to make little bits of things, right? Like little shapes and gems almost. Oh, I'm glad, Deb, because that's the funny thing. Oh, thank you, Keisha. That's the thing is I don't use blue either. My favorite color is pink. My favorite all-time favorite color is just a really light blush pink. But because of my friend Sarah, whose favorite color in the whole world is blue, and her collab that I joined, I'm just like pumping out the blues, right? So this one, because I'm kind of inspired, I know, pink, woohoo! I love pink. But this one, I thought I would get the yellow in there by using the gold flecks, right? So I just threw the gold in there, stirred it up till it got small, poured it in first, then poured the blue in, which this blue is a combination of ink and mica powder. You don't use blue very much. That's the thing. I guess maybe it was that her collab was going to inspire a lot of people. Now I want to say I seen something, but I'm not sure. about the colors of the year. I don't remember now. See, I got to be careful because I don't want to mess up my thing too bad. But I needed to get some yellow in there, and I don't want the square. So I am going to kind of go over it and see what I can do. I don't work with distress inks on here as much as I do paint and alcohol inks, but I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and try all of my usual techniques to get in some texture. Just break it up a bit. But this will be more, in my opinion, like a watercolor image. We'll put the gloss over it and see. That I don't even know if I've done that before. So really, you know what? We'll be doing something new. But I do want to explain a couple things. When I brought my board out, my plate out, I put baby oil on it and I wiped it off. You don't have to do that, and I don't do it every single time. But if it starts to get kind of like not moisture, it will dry out a little bit. This is a Gelli Arts plate. I do recommend Gelli Arts plates. They're my favorite. I've had a lot of different ones. I've made them at home. I bought different brands. This is the only brand I would buy or recommend at this point in my journey. I'm trying to keep my hand there so it stops doing that thing, but it's not going to. But anyways, this is a gloss medium, and I buy this and I use it because sometimes I don't want to put another color on there. Stuff for texture. Let's talk about texture. He was motorcycle jacket, and it has a grid of rubber squares. I grabbed it. Oh, good. This is one that I ordered from a company that sent out samples. Look at this. I bought all you had to do is pay shipping, and you got samples. So I have that. Then this I want to show you. If you haven't seen my videos before, I made this out of toilet paper rolls. And it makes a really nice leaf shape, or like dragon scales. And I've had this for a really long time, and it's worked all these years, or 2 years maybe. My other favorite that I just can't live without, I really can't, is this one. And this came at least 2 years ago out of a candy container, right? The candies were inside of here, and I don't know what kind of candy it was, so I can't tell you. Oh, go buy this one and you'll have it. But remember that kind of stuff. This gives me this triangle, right? Or yeah, diamond shape, plus the circles in between. So it's really one of my favorites. And I don't wash it. I leave it so that even those spots have texture now. And if a little bit of paint gets on my project, that doesn't bother me. I also have Legos I use a lot. Oh, smaller, Keisha. Well, you know what, Keisha? Start making a little bag for me. Start sending me stuff. I'll pay for the shipping if you got something really fun. I thought about this today, and I just cut some sections out so that it would muss it up. And we'll do that later with paint. We won't do it with this. Then I want you guys, it's not in the description now because I had to redo this, but guess what? I ended up finding this pack of stencils. So when I'm done with this, we're going to go into these stencils, and I'm going to share the link in my description because I not only have this one, but I have this set too. So we will talk about that after we get done with the distress inks. So it's almost dried, and that's what I needed it to do, was to dry. Came from hazelnut balls. There you go. That would be a good one. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here, and I'm not going to put it heavy-handed, and it is going to alter this because of the product that is underneath, and that's okay. We're going to get this combination, and maybe I'll even, because I want these in there so you can see them, let's do this on top of this really quick and see what we get. Okay, so let's move that aside, and let's grab a good piece of paper. There are papers that will take everything off the board better than others. That's a whole nother discussion. Let's see what we get here. Okay, and I am really going to rub on this. Come on, camera. Like pressing it down, body weight. There you go. Now, this is our Distress Inks blue background that we made. And it's more like a watery color, smeared mixture. But because I did that at the last, you see the little diamonds? Those are just some of my favorite little shapes in there. The gloss medium is what made that wave. That gloss medium hit that paint and did that. Okay, So now we have some gloss medium on there. We have some acrylic paints. We're going to leave it. We're going to get into the stencils because, ladies, I really think you're going to love these. This is a pack of 10, and they were $15 on Amazon. And like I said, I will share the link in my description after I get done. But these are 12 by 12. Look at this. Isn't that going to be amazing? Oh, I'm so excited. So now I'm going to work with blues because I've got a lot of blue on my board. I'm going to try this Stormy Blue. Yellow showed up more than you thought, didn't it? Yeah, and because it's an oxide, it kind of oxidized even lighter in areas because these are distress oxides. And I'm hoping they'll continue to oxide in there. Now, as I do when I'm doing this, I tell you why I'm doing it one way or another. I am putting this on my board over here because I don't want to use a heavy hand on here. So I'm not going to put it on the side. I'm going to roll it, and I'm going to make sure that it's a light coverage. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to press it down. And I just want to get inside of those areas of the design, right? So that's there. And that's a nice blue. It's not fabulous, but it's nice. Okay, so we'll save that in case we need it for something else. Now, what we can do here is pull this up. And look what we have. Now, I'm going to take the back of this on the side, and I'm going to put this stencil upside down on it to get some of that paint off. And I'll show you in just a second what that looks like. It's not going to be fabulous, and my stencil will have paint on it afterwards, but I did get some of it off. You see there? Okay, so isn't that beautiful? So let's put thumbs up or something if you really like it. If you think that that is just like, oh my gosh, that stencil is to die for, because I'm telling you, these stencils are so fabulous. I just couldn't wait to get in here and show you guys. Now, doesn't this look really good? That shape with my paper that I'm working with, you guys see? I just got to get the right color. I might have to get online and find it. I might. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into, I'm not going to try to match that paper because it's just not going to work. You need those stencils. I agree. I agree. It is so cool. I'm going to come in with this light green. I don't know why. I can't tell you exactly why. I just know that that's the one when I'm looking at my colors over here that I think might let some of this stand out on it, but it could smear it up and it could turn into something else, and I'll try again. It'll all be okay. But I like to have my paint not be, as I layer up, not be a full coverage. Do you see how it's kind of broken up, smeared around? And sometimes I'll come in and just make lines here and there with my brayer. And then what I can do is my favorite Lego, come in and just randomly, not in any kind of grid or special, you know, because you just want them around. They're just there for background noise. Then we can do this one. This one's been used every Gelli Plate this year. I might put it on every Gelli Plate this year. I'm not going to put it down in prep card though. I just want a little bit of texture in there. Break things up just a little bit, and I could just keep going. You know, I could come in on the sides with some circles. I don't want to do the middle. I don't want to mess that up too much. I don't know how much of that is going to come up the way it was. These things are always going to be one way or the other. It either works great, you're so excited, or it just was like, you know, it's okay. But I'm going to put this blue down here. This is a really thick blue, and I'm going to move it around so that I can dip a circle thing in it. Maybe I'll do one of the lids. See, this is the thing. Anything even around is something that you could do something with. Oh, there's another one I want to show you that was kind of cool. I did earlier. This, I used the back of this, and it did the best little dots. I was so happy with it. They were just big enough to see. See that? And then you could just do it in there anywhere. So just the back of this. Now I'm going to take and do this just to make that paint not be so thick, because as soon as I come in with my gloss, it's going to just mess it up. You have no internet just yet. Have a large and medium size. I have a few good pages, but I haven't played enough experience. That's the trick right there. It really is. It's all about the experience. Practice makes much better in this particular genre of art. Okay, we're going to get a really good background here, ladies. I don't know how much of that stencil you'll see. We should do that part again. I also wanted to tell you that I'm doing a lot of recycling this year. This is paper out of a package that I got. And so I'm going to go ahead and start gelli plating on those, and then I can scan them in or use them as collaging. But instead of putting it in the recycling or in the garbage, I'm going to go ahead and do that. The medium. Okay, I will. So there's a little bit of a stencil in there. That's a nice muted background. That blue probably pops out a little more than I needed it to. Okay, so so watch this, Deb. What I can do, let's do this. This is what would probably look the best if I added this and then maybe even some orange or something, but I'm going to show you. I'll keep these because I will continue to grab these colors. Now, let's say that I've done all my work and I want to pull this off. I have two options. Hi, Christina. I know, I'm so sorry about that. I wanted to do picture in picture. I've got to work on it. You know me. I get out of the groove and then I forget. So if you have the work you put on the plate and you're ready to pull it up, it has to be moisturized, right? You've been drying in between layers. You've been letting things go. So now what you have to do is you have to re-moisturize it. And you have two choices. You can put another color on there, which is a great idea, right? You find another color, it's going to work. It'll be your background. It's going to make it to where the white doesn't show through all the way, or whatever color you're grabbing to pull it up with the paper, right? Because your paper is going to show through. You have to make these decisions ahead of time. Do you want it to be dark? Do you want it to be light? Do you want it to be this or that? So now it's full covered, ready to be pulled up, right? Or if I didn't want to add another color, I would go with the clear gloss. So that's the reason for the clear gloss, is I can either pull it up with another color, everything that's on my board after I've made, you know, a lot of layers. And let me get that back up. Come on, camera. There we go. Or you can do with the clear. You can also pull, we'll do it in a minute. I have some colored paper here. Okay, so we put that blue on there, and now that blue, that tealy blue, is going to pull up everything that was on the board. Not every single thing, but you know what I mean. So now you'll see, you see all the greens and still some of the stencil in there. This is the difference. I pulled this one up with clear gloss, and it's a light. I got everything that I seen. Hi, Sherry. This one, I got a blue background because I put blue on there. It's just a decision. This looks just as good, if not better. This one's awesome. This one's gonna scan in really well. If you could see it in person, it's very teal, and it's got the green here. It's got the stencil in there. It's got some oxide. It's an awesome. So you don't use the medium before every pull, just when you want that on the plate and no background. Exactly. I used to only do this and then very seldom use the gloss, but then I've learned how to manipulate it to where I don't need that last color. So, because I would plan ahead, I would do all my colors, and then I'd know, okay, I'm going to pull this up with beige or gray, or a contrast color of what I'm doing, or creamy. You know, a lot of times I'd use antique white. Hit the like button for Melody's Awesome Pulls. Oh, Keisha, you are so cool. Thank you so much. So we still got paint here. We still got debris, right? So we could do a couple of things. We could stick with this teal theme. Definitely stick with this stencil because this was cool. Let's see. I don't know how it was on there before, but I'm just going to take a chance. I got this paint. I don't like to waste it, so I keep it. All I got to do is grab it, and I can put it on here. And we can do a variegated situation where we have some of the green, some of the dark blue, stormy blue, some of the medium blue, right? And this isn't going to be perfect. It's just going to be background noise because it's kind of blotchy, and that's okay. I could even do this. Pick it up, put it down. It's either putting paint down or pulling some up, but it's creating a blotchy background. I'm also going to save this. This would be something. Oh, I know, Christina. I was telling Chris and Nance about the stencils, I think yesterday. I was so excited. This is really good for collaging or backgrounds, things like that. So I'll keep that. I'm going to pull this up. We know that it's got some of that and it's all variegated there. Set that aside. Now we could pull it up with the gloss and we'd have a white background, or depending on the color of paper you use. In fact, let's do this because this would be kind of cool. I brought some yellow paper over because remember, I'm kind of concentrating. I would use the book pages. Exactly. Book pages are awesome to use in gelli plating. I just have done, I've done map, you know, the indexes in the large map books, atlas books, atlas books. I've done that and made some fabulous pages that had the word in the back. No one knows you're Chris NJJM, do they, Christina? Chris. You can't throw up your signs if you don't have the right name. We've got a personal joke going on about our NJJM titles. Oh, I'm going to show you guys my new ring. I got it because I love circles and I found it and I was like, oh, I got to have this. Then my niece tells me yesterday that it means that I'm complete. I don't know. Yeah, Keisha knows who you are, Chris. Keisha knows. See, now this is what I mean by the background color. It changes everything. Now the background is yellow. And I can do that with paint, paper. Those are the two ways. You can sit there and I could have put a yellow down on that. Or I could have put the clear on it like I did and then pull it up with yellow paper. And this is just because I was trying to get my yellows and blues together, guys. This is something that, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up like I did before, but I think what I'm going to do, what kind of color could I use? There's some dark and there's some light. I could, you know what I could do? You won't believe it, but I could come over here to another area of my stash and grab a lavender. And you know what? This will end up being more of like a boho feel when you get the lavender and purples with teals. The other combination is the orange and rusty colors. But let's try this just for the heck of it, right? Just for the heck of it. Let's see what we get. Now I am going to bust this up a little bit because I can't stand anything to be completely like that. That's just not my way. This is a packaging from Amazon. Save those if you're a gelli plater. Beautiful texture. You see that? Beautiful. Now I'm really liking that, and I almost feel like what I'd like to do is muss it up a bit. This is just like I say, ladies, a lot of this is it's the way that you do things. It's going to come out with your heart, your style, but technique is what's important. You're learning the techniques of how things get pulled, you know, what the layers are that you can make yourself a pretty big mess if you don't let things dry a bit, right? So we got to remember there's teal under there, and now there's a layer of lavender. So what do you think if we pull it off with this violet purple? Are these for the blue creations? The originals are the ones that are blue and then now I've switched over to purple, and then from here we're just going to keep playing with whatever color. Ooh, if you're gonna get boogers, I'm gonna set you on a timeout. Not gonna be playing no games with boogers, I'll tell you. Chris, how many times we talked about glue boogers, paint boogers? So now I'm putting this color on top of the lavender. We know we have the teal under there. And the cool thing is the teal is darker than the lavender, so it should stand out. Now, I don't want to cover that completely. That's all I want to do. So now, and I'm just going crazy. I don't got a plan. I'm just doing the things I do. Sometimes it turns out fabulous. Sometimes it turns out like mud, but it's my mud and I own it. I do. I just feel like it's my mud. So I'm going to throw a little bit of this in there. It's not even hardly doing nothing. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a pull. If we can't get it all up, we'll put the clear gloss on it and bring it up that way. But sometimes, oops, there we go. Good enough. Okay, roll my brayer off. Sometimes these marks to me are some of the, come on camera, are so pretty. I love the backs of mine just as much as I love the front, because I will use the paint up off here and make you know, just like, oh, backgrounds, right? I've noticed a few things that you do different from others that I've seen others do. Very interesting. Buggers don't scare us. That's right. You would have tried red, but the violet is probably better. Now, red, see, that's what I was saying, though, is the orange and rusty and reds would have been beautiful with it, too. I have a paper kit that I need to make I have a paper pack that I need to make a kit out of. And I've been wanting to try to get the teal and the pink together because that's what that kit is. So I keep trying to, but see, check this out. Some of this is fabulous. The center's a little too lavendery, but this over here, do you see how the purple and the teal just really are pretty together? I don't know. I think that's okay too. This will actually work with that kit. So now I'm excited because I'm telling you, I'm having a tough time. It's not easy. And then there's even some green in here, right? We have the tealy blue, the green. Fabulous. Now we've got pretty much all the blue off here, but now we have some purples. So let's start transferring over to something else. Let's look at these stencils and see what we got. Now remember, I think there's 10 of them in a pack. We've got this one. They're very, you know, ornate, florally. I kind of like that one. That one almost looks like a tile. Some of them look almost like a flower or a snowflake. Things just this one almost could look like a spider web the way that one looks. This one definitely looks like snowflake. So I think I'm going to use this one. This one kind of looks like a tile, like a Italian tiles or something. So let's put this one down. We still have the purples on there. So we have to be kind of careful about where we go with that. So let's go back into the pinks and purples, and then we'll get that all off of there, and then we'll go grunge, Deb, and you'll really like that. That's one of my favorite things to do. I've been doing it for a long time, and it just always makes my heart sing. But in what we do when we end up being to where we do swaps or we sell, we have to put ourselves outside of our comfort zone, and we have to be able to combine colors and styles and things. But if you're just doing your own thing, then that is awesome to stick to, you know, what feels good. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to pull some of that off of the top of the stencil, and it might grab some on the inside and it will make it look hollow. There we go. We'll have like a shadow. So I'm going to pull this up. Now I've got to go a bit dark. I do. I've got to look, and I'm almost wondering if a dark blue might be kind of cool, but this is cobalt blue. I don't like that. This is sapphire. Let's try it. Never know. Like I say. And sometimes I'll do things on here that are unusual because that's the only way that I can really share with you something that you don't already know, right? Or you don't already have the instinct to do that. And that's the way that it will be a little bit more, well, for one, exciting, for another, informational, you know, But so you can see the detail underneath there. That's important. You don't want to cover it so thick that you don't see the detail. Won't dry. It'll just, there, we broke that up a bit. Now we could add another color. Someone asked me not too long ago, how many colors do I use? And I think that I've noticed I use at least a minimum of 3. So let's bring in this tealy blue. So we'll have the lavender, we'll have the blue, just a basic blue. And then we're going to come in with a bit of teal and see how that all works together. And I use my brayer very lightly. I don't press down because I'm not wanting to shift what's the designs that's already there. And normally I wouldn't even put that much paint on there, but that's the way it happens sometimes. So what do? Oh, and I really liked this one. I thought this was pretty. So let's do this again. Let's do this again. And then we'll pull this up and we'll just see what that mixture and how everything ended up. Let's do a little bit of circles. Well, I don't know. Let's do the diamonds. Where's my diamonds? Where's my diamonds? Here they are. This will give us something. I think that it's easy to look at something. I've heard people say this before about mixed media. They love what they see and they don't want to do any more to it. But you got to kind of push yourself sometimes to go a couple more layers of design or texture or whatever. Hi, Cindy. You hear me? I know. I'm so sorry about that. I gotta get to work on figuring out my stuff. So now this is damp enough for me to pull it off. I just did that all very quickly. So I'm going to try this. We might not see a lot of definition, but it is going to be an interesting background. That is for sure. Maybe it'll pull it all up to where we can switch over to another color scheme. One of my favorites is a grungy rust. I've done that and I just, oh, it is just, I love it. Okay. So warmed it up. Come on, camera. And here we go. Now, remember, there is still some of the other stuff in there. There's even a little bit of paper from something I was doing earlier. But this is almost a mermaid. You see all that? The purples, the teals, and the blue like that. I don't know what I got on there. I got something on there, though. It's paper. Paper from something I did earlier. I'll do it again so I can show you. But this one's nice. Just a background. You know, you scan that in, and it's just a nice background. Put something else on top of it. Be a great background, making you want to stamp seashells and waves on them. Exactly. Think of this as a master board for ATC cards or the greeting cards, right? You cut this out, and then you layer up on top of that. It's especially like this is actual cardstock. This paper here, I got lucky and got my daughter got it for me, but I'll probably, once it's gone, continue to buy it. Let's do something fun. We still got some bits on there, and I tore this up earlier so that I could show you. This is packing paper. Oh, my chair does not like to roll on the carpet. So I'm going to put paint down on here, and we'll start gradually going over to the deeper colors. So I'll just put some green on here. Green will help me go over to a darker green, and then a darker green can go into browns, and I can make it work from there. So I'm going to put this on here. This is not this is full coverage, but not heavy coverage. And if you need me to explain that better, you let me know and I will tell you. I did explain it in another video, and it is not a term that is like, it's just a term I use. It's the way that I can describe to you how I'm doing what I'm doing. Anyway, so this is packing paper, and I'm tearing it and I'm putting it on top of a layer of paint on the board. This works with any paper. I've done it with plastic strips and things. I've done it with tape. Tape is a good one. Masking tape or even washi tape, I guess. But I like to use ones that tear like this, that have wavy lines. Hi, Angie. How are you, sweetie? Okay, so I like to make them not be exactly the same for contrast. Anyways, not to get picky and not to take too long at that, but there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to put another layer of something on there, and I'm going to go into with this orangey color because, this is just yellow, but it's a very golden yellow, and this is the kind of yellow that I would use in my grunge. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting that color in there because whatever's on there, unless I clean it, it's going to be in the next prints. So I try to think ahead about that and start changing my colors up to go different directions. Now this is going to have the yellow. Then we're going to break that up a bit. You notice I didn't do it real heavy. Just let it be kind of blotchy. This will give that yellow a texture. All right, you see the texture on there? Then we can pull these off. And there's a texture under there plus the other paint. Do you see that? There's that teal in there. So we pull these off. We have this, we have the lines. This isn't perfect. This isn't, this is just an example of what you can do. I just don't want anyone to be like, oh, that's just kind of, yeah. But the technique is what I'm showing you so that you can go and you do the technique and you do it with colors that even are more fabulous or better layouts and whatnot. But there's the technique. Okay. Uh-oh. Angie's okay. Just got up from a nap. I was up last night sick. Oh, sorry, Angie. Okay, so then I do have the blues. I have the greens. I'm going to pull it up with a green because I just, like I said, I want to go a different way. And I'm not going to pull it up with the clear because I don't want all of this white. That's why. So if you're wondering. So here's this green in here. And this is what we're going to use to pull it up with. And it's, again, full coverage, but not heavy coverage. And I will break that up a bit. That's just what I do. I can't stand it to not have some textures or shapes in there. Probably OCD, ACD, OCD, ACDC. I don't know, but it's something. Okay, so and then I'm going to just throw that in there like that, and then we're done. And then we're going to bring in the paper, and now we have transferred over from the blues and purples to greens, which will take us to browns. I do not know the color wheel. I did not study art, so if I say something that is contrary to, the science of art, I apologize. I make mud quite a bit, so I just own it. Okay, come on, camera. There we go. Ready? Now we did get a pretty good pull. Look at that. We just went to a almost springtime grassy look, but there's still some of those dark colors in there. That's what gives you the really deep look. Oh, that theme song, isn't it wonderful? I love it. Her brother did a really good job at that. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this yellow paint. Don't like to waste it. There we go. Now I will add in some texture. It's still a little bit thick, so I got to remember that. And then I'm going to just go ahead and pull this off because I'm trying to get the board clean to where we can go to the browns. And this one might end up working with that other kit. You never know. He may be doing a part 2. Woohoo! Maybe he'll end up making a whole album. That'd be awesome. Okay, there we go. This one's cool. What do you think about that one? And that was just rolling some yellow on top of all these other colors. I just don't know if you could really on camera see the depth in there. This is the crusty bits that everyone, if you watch Gelli Platers, that the crusty bits is just a really cool thing. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to reach back behind me because that's where my browns and my Azo Gold and my just all my goodies are. So I'm gonna go grunge for you. We'll work our way there. It's gonna take a couple pulls to get more of this yellow off. But this is a liquid, golden liquid. See that teal? This one is gonna. I'm gonna put this down, and this is gonna end up making. Oh, my dogs! Do you hear them? They must have heard something that freaked them out because they are going at it. But we're going to get this teal in here on top of that yellow. And we're going to leave it blotchy because it's going to be teal. When you get into the rust, you know, it's not good. It's going to, and that texture is going to really help too. It's very textured, grainy, and, you know, just, it was his birthday. Awesome. Alrighty, get my chair back up here. Okay, so now we're going to bring in the Azo Nickel Gold, which this one might be almost empty, but I got a bigger bottle here. And I'm going to put that, and I'm going to deliberately get it in between, if I can. This one might be gone. I don't want to waste it though, but I'm going to put it where the teal is not heavily present. Okay, see that? So now we have that yellow back there, yellowy green. And then we did teal. Blue and yellow are your favorite colors. That is so cool. Matches my nails. My nails. I did that nails for the collab, but I tried to make them look like a wintry, you know, icy blue. And I had fun. It's always fun deciding what you're going to do with your nails, what color, what style, what, you know. Okay, so there's our rust, ladies. That's your rust. Right? Now, I'm not going to do circles because I want this to look different. And to do that, I think I'm going to bring in this. And I'm just going to run it across and have it just pull up paint in a random way just to give us a texture. I don't even know. I've not done this before. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad, but it's something. And we'll find out together. But that was just a paper towel. And what color was the rust? This is Nickel Azo Gold in the fluids, golden fluids. It's expensive, but this, when you're looking to create this, it's really, really the best color to use. So I buy it because it does what I need it to do. Otherwise, I don't focus on high-end paints. Or Angie says her nails stay one color white. That's cool. I think that because I don't know. I think because I'm heavy set, I ended up starting to get focused on my nails to draw away from other things. Like some people their shoes are what they want people to focus on, or their hair. I ended up going towards. So I'm putting some gold in there, just a little bit, and then I'm going to pull some of it back off with this if I can. Look how pastel-y we've got that. Not sure what'll happen, but I don't want that to stay there all, you know. There we go. That broke it up. So now we just got flecks of gold. Flecks of it. Now, what we really need is, let's see, copper, right? If I'm not mistaken, we need some copper. I've got some copper right here. And what we're going to do is we're letting this dry in between quite a bit. Yeah, I know it's going to be, it's just going to be the Azo Gold. Exactly. It is just, this was, I think, $20 for this bottle, but I use a coupon. And like I said, I just be very careful because I know. Yeah. Okay, so not a lot of copper left because I really do at one time was using a ton of it. I'm not putting it in there as a layer or as a coverage. I'm putting it in there as a layer. And so I'm just going to like let it be heavy on a corner or an edge, right? And then lightly, sparingly put into places. And then we're going to, I'm not sure again. See, that's the thing is I really don't want, I wonder if this would be good. This might work the way I'm thinking. Let's see if this will do what I want it to do. If it doesn't, at least I'll know for next time what I do with my paper towels. Well, we'll use this. We'll improvise. So what I'm wanting is to pull some up out of those squares just to break it up a bit. What do you think? There we go. I like that. So let's do it again up here. Now this is the kind, I swear, sometimes I get so excited about this because this is the kind of stuff you see in actual paper packs, like the collateral damage from, sometimes I've made pages you can't tell if they would have been in that pack or if they were made by me, and that is so fun. So now we have some texture here. We have texture, we have colors. I'm going to pull it up with a clear and with the yeah, you know what, if you, this one and this one are the two, if you like to do grunge, that I would recommend that you grab. And if you get them on a coupon, it's not too bad. Okay, you guys ready? Now I could pull this up with a creamy color, and that would look good too. I could pull it up with a creamy white, but I'm going to pull it up with this, and then if we have anything left, I'll grab a white and show you what that would look like. But do you see how deep? Oh, you guys, you always inspire me to do some of my best work, right? Because I'm talking about it and I'm getting it done, and I'm coming up with inspiration from you guys. Let's see if I can get some room here. And here we go. This is my first grunge for this year. First grunge. I've been doing blues, and I did some foresty colors. I did a little bit of red and pink for Valentine's, and then I was back to the blues. This is the first. Come on, camera. So I'm really going to just give that some effort. I really want everything on the board to come up with that, right? And I'm going to peek, and we're going to be able to do 2 pulls at least on this because that's just the way it's going to work. But here's the first one. Right, and then I'm going to pull the rest of that up with a color, and I think I'm going to choose Sand Dune, and then I'll show you what I mean by the difference. You know, it'll just give us something different. So I'm going to put this on here. Sand Dune is like well, it's a color of sand. It's a nice neutral background that won't change the colors. Does that make sense? Like if I was to put a blue on there, it changes the whole feel of it. If I was to put a yellow on there, this will be just a basic. Let's see how much this we can pull up. All righty. Get the edges. Come on, camera. Boy, it does not like the white paper, does it? Does not like it. Okay. Really, really rubbing those edges on my corners. Let's see. I might get 3 pulls out of this. So there it is with the gray, with the sandy color. So we have it here with the clear. We're the only thing in the background, and it's a little bright. I wouldn't necessarily use it like that. I would spray it with the alcohol ink. In fact, I have one here. I could spray it with many colors, but here's an alcohol ink with mica powder in it that I can spray, and it will deepen up those white areas. Now that actually looks a little bit better. If I ever did this, I would have to wipe my hands to get that paint out of them. Oh, girl, if you can't get your hands dirty. Now, this one is kind of cool because even though we have this big open spot here, we have this variegated texture of the squares. So it almost looks like a wall that's been corroded, like cement or something. So I'm going to put some more of this on here. And this is the Azo Gold. And we still have a lot of bits of teal and yellow down there. So I'm going to bring this in. Try to get some of those circly looks out of there. I'm not thrilled with that. And then if you just kind of twist you'll get some texture just by doing that. You don't want to get it too definite because you don't want it to look too much like you were just going crazy with it. Okay, I really wish I could find my paper towels though. That would be very helpful. And I just can't imagine. Sometimes though, what I think I do is I put it on the side over here. And then it falls off the other side. One of those carts, Let's see. Bring in more of the squares. So we got those in the rusty color this time, right? And that dries so fast. That's why I love that so much. Clean right away. I sit here for hours doing this stuff. Maybe baby wipes I could, but look at me. I'm making art on my hands. And then I have to use a brush and get it all off of here. Okay, so I'm not going to do this all over, and I'm going to definitely muss it up. Like I want it to look just not nice and pretty at all, right? I want it to be all over the place. That's what we want. Now we have those squares in there. Let's hope they stay in there down in the background. They might not. But there's that. Okay. That's awesome. That's going to turn out really nice. Doesn't look as great on camera. You can't see the depth of everything on camera. Oh, I'm getting to the pictures of my book. So I'm going to go past those. Toss those over here. Now, I'm going to bring in some larger circles. Like that, and then I've got my smaller circles like that, and then what else am I going to do? That's the thing, is you start to get to where you're like, oh, I've done everything, haven't I? No, you haven't. I feel like this needs more of an orange, and so that's what I'm kind of looking around, and it's varied, so I'm going to grab it out, but I think maybe an orangey color will bring something. The best part is getting dirty, Christina. So weird saying your name is Christina. I'm used to her as Chris. So now this orange, this is a deep orange, and I'm not putting a ton in there, you guys. I am just adding it as another textured layer. See that? Not actually, it's got full coverage. So now we've got the orange in there. We've got the rust is underneath, but I do think we could almost, maybe let's do this. See, now I'm just getting crazy. I'm just like, I don't know, what should I do next? And that's usually when I'll make something kind of, out there. And okay, we'll see. But I do think that the more that you add these layers, the more depth you'll get. It's like painting. You wouldn't paint a tree with 3 leaves, and you wouldn't necessarily even use just one color. You would have all these different, like you would have the leaves that are looking like this, and then you'd have the leaves that look like this, and you have the leaves that look like this. Same with the bird flying. So that's what this is basically. Is you don't want to just have a I'll let Melody do all mine. You don't want to have something down on here that is just one color, one texture, one anything, even 2 or 3. I don't know how many, but that's what you have to figure out. I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go crazy here, and I'm going to put this down on here, and I'm going to try to stencil another color on top of there, and I'm trying to decide if I want to try to do the gold or if I want to go dark, right? Like almost even black Does anyone have an opinion on whether I should just give me opinions on light or dark? Should I go lighter than what's down on my board or go darker? Yeah, see if I can even find black. I haven't used black in forever. Let's see. Wait. Got to remember this indigo. That might work for what I'm doing with my other project. I am not seeing a black in any of my stuff. That is crazy. I have like metal blacks. Pearl black. Darker, dark. Let's do this pearl black. It might look cool. It might. And it might not. We don't know. Look at that page. Isn't that awesome? That is so fun. Okay, let's try this. I got a sample pack of a bunch of different, I got 2 or 3 different when I first started working with paint so that I didn't have to keep buying paint and not knowing what I was doing. So I got a sample pack of this King Art metallics, and I got a pack of the Deco Art metallics so that I had some things to work with, and I still have majority of them, and I've always been happy that I have them. Okay, so I might need a little bit more because I want a little bit of full coverage, but not totally. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll find out if I can do this the way I see it in my mind. Does that make sense? Do you guys ever do that? You know what you have in your mind, but when you go to create something, it's like, what happened? That isn't at all what I've seen in my mind. That's a lot of what I think will make people feel like they're not good at this. It's like, no, you gotta change your expectations sometimes and enjoy what you did end up with, not criticize it, right? Okay, so let's bring this up. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Thank you, ladies, for saying darker. Oh my goodness. I'm really liking this. Can I say that without being braggy? I don't know. This one has taken us like 20 minutes to make, so just goes to show you. Okay, ready, set. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, wow. Now, I got to get a lot of this off because what's going to happen is we'll end up doing what happened before, and we didn't get all of our pull because there was too much gloss. There we go. Let's try. Wow, we're going on an hour, ladies. I think this will be my last pull. I got a sale in February that I have got to get ready for. Let me tell you. Time is just sneaking up on me. Hi, Jersey. Not wearing gloves. I know, huh? Look at me. I like to finger paint. Oh, ladies, the clear liquid that I use is Liquitex Gloss Medium. And I use this by the jar. Let me tell you, I use it a lot. I actually have done empties on that one. Not a lot of things I get empties on. I think I'm going to start doing a video on empties on, you know. Ooh, come on. Okay, we ready? Any drum rolls? Any drum rolls, ladies? Because this one's our last one. It's definitely thick. Some of it's going to be still there, but I think we got a good pool. Think we do. Ta-da! Now, sometimes there's a couple things you can do. One is you can try to press it back down and get some of it, and the other is to spray alcohol inks on there to deepen some of those colors when it's white like that. There we go. So that was our last pull. So let's look over what we have done. There's still some on there, but I can probably get it off with this. So we used, in fact, let's do this. This is, I'm not sure if any of that will come off, but we can try. Let's do that. Okay, so now we created this one together. Thank you very much. This was a second pull. Let me do this. This was a second pull. I think that's something important to know if you're looking to learn about this, because if you see this and you think it's the first and you're going to try to recreate something like this, you aren't about to do it. See what I'm saying? So that's the second pull. This was the first pull. And this one I sprayed ink on it. So if like whenever there's areas that's too light for me, I spray ink on them. It's just what I do. Sometimes it'll be brown, sometimes it'll be green, sometimes it'll be red, whatever color goes with it. But oh, you guys are so cool. Thank you, Jersey. So, and then that's that one. Then we did this purple, which was really fun. We were transitioning from the teals to purples and pinks. We used this stencil right here, and we created this mermaidy one out of distress inks directly on the Gelli Plate, and then sprayed with water. Deb is so saucy, she is, isn't she? There's this one. There's this one. And this one. So in this one plate, Gelli Plate setting, we sat and went from blues and greens to purples was what we did next, right? And then we went into the purples, and then from there we went into the greens and yellows, and then from there we went into the grunge. So we really were all over the board with our color choices. We did a couple different techniques. I'm going to come back, give this video a thumbs up and comment below what your favorite color combination was, and look in the details, and I will have the link to this stencil set. So this stencil set, you guys, there were 8 or 10 of them for $15. They're 12 by 12. They're awesome. And then the other link will be for this set of 30 for $12.99 or $11.99. And they're awesome too. But if you're only, if your budget only allows you one, I would get the 12 by 12s if you do anything large. Otherwise, these are perfect for card making, ATCs. And there's 30 of them. Can you imagine? 30 of them. There's just endless stencils. I couldn't believe it. So I'm going to have these in the link. I'll do that as soon as I get off camera. And give the video a thumbs up and let me know the color combination, because I will come back and read those, and that will affect what I do in future polls. Oh, Melody. Okay, got it. Now, because what will happen is that I can judge by what you guys say on what kind of inspiration I'll get, Although most of the time I will at least include a little bit of what I'm working on, because I do digital kits with these, and I sell them at the market. So there's just always something with these. I'm going to put a color down on here and pull this up, and then we're going to be done. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me. I am thinking I'm going to do this light green because there's just a lot of green bits on there. I don't know if you can see them. A lot of green bits, and then the dark black, and I think that this green will pull it up the best, so be the best background to showcase it all. Come on, paint, move around, move it. Look, you can still see the stencil underneath there. That's so perfect. If you cannot see your design through your paint, it's not going to get pulled up that time. It'll get pulled up the second or third time, but so it's just best to pull the paint back off so that you have a light layer on top of your image, right? All righty, let's do this one more time. Christina, it says the turquoise grunge one is the best. I agree. Those, I really need to just do a whole kit out of those. That would be really fun. I have some that I have set aside that I haven't done anything with, and I need to bring them out and start adding enough to where I got a collection, huh? All righty. I'm getting all the stencils. I have several I like, but I have had them so long I'm tired of the same ones over and over. I agree. And I'll tell you what, Deb, these ones here, because the other ones, they're definitely set. They look like flowers or snowflakes or this or that. But these have geometric shapes and weird. I mean, this one, like any card making, ATC, junk journaling, anything you do, small projects that will fit within the 6x6 or move it around on there. It's a really good deal. 30 of them. I couldn't believe it. If I could do affiliates links, which I have to figure out. I have affiliates with Amazon, but oh my gosh, you guys, there's always just so much work that goes along. About being able to see through. Yes, you don't, when you put your, because I don't say it with the clear, because when I use the clear, all I know is I need to have it a thin layer, but I can't tell you about it being see-through. But when you use another color, if you can't see the design underneath it, your paint's too thick and you're only going to pull up that color and then you're going to have to do it again, which is not terrible. You know, that'll work too. Now, I think, and look how clean my board is now, ladies. This is a perfect ending to the perfect pull, but look at this. This one, that green, made all that design stand out. Let me see if I can get this right. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's almost like a shadow, but then there's still some there. You get gloves. You get your hands dirty, Keisha. I wish I knew your middle name. I would say, like, Keisha Marie. You get your hands dirty, girl. It's important to. Sometimes I need to feel it. I need to know. I need to know. I have to go calling something into. Bye, Angie. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yes, Sherry, new stencils. So like I say, if you have something that you would do this, do a big project with, then this is an absolutely fantastic set, 12 by 12s for the, I mean, because you can just use a portion of them. But this one, if you do anything smaller than that, or if you don't have large projects, this one is just absolutely 30. So I will link that in here. So come back in a half hour. Cindy says, love watching me work. Cindy's my friend. She's been with me for a while, and I so appreciate you, Cindy. You've always been so supportive. Makes you want to get out your Gelli Plate. I love the purple and blues. I do too. And I just can't. It's like I can't almost decide sometimes between, like, sometimes I want to get them all together. I used to only want to do monochrome like this. This was my comfort zone. But now I'm getting to where it's like, I want to combine 5 or 6 colors, 7 or 8 colors, and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But you guys, I love you dearly. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Come back, hit the like, hit the subscribe and the bell, and check those links for that. I'll have it in there within the half hour. Big hugs, everybody. Stay safe and stay dirty. Aha.